So we've discussed Quadrant 1, and that was task-oriented, fast transaction individuals. Now let's move over to Quadrant 2. So we're still talking task-oriented individuals, but they prefer slower transactions. I call these individuals the processors. They need a little bit more information. They need a little bit more time to think. They need to understand more than the Quadrant 1 individuals do. They need bullet points. You can think of it like that. They need the bullet points. How do you handle these individuals? Well, you slow things down. Obviously, you slow things down. You don't give them a ton of information. You don't write them a book. You don't read a book to them. You give them the bullet points. You tell them what happened, why it happened, and what you've got to do to fix it. You see, with Quadrant 1, they likely really didn't care what happened or why. They just care what you did to fix it. With Quadrant 2, they need more explanation. They do want to know what happened, why it happened, maybe what they could do to avoid it in the future, and what you're going to do to fix it. Show and tell works really, really well with these individuals. And when I say show and tell, I mean take them out to their vehicle. Take them out to their vehicle in the shop and show them what was wrong. Show them what it should look like. Show them what it looks like now. Explain to them what you're going to do to repair this vehicle. Oftentimes shops have those signs in them that say no customers allowed due to insurance regulations or whatever it may be. Think about how unfriendly that may appear. You see, that's a very personal item that you have out in the shop, right? And these Quadrant 2 individuals, they're a little bit more nervous about this repair experience than Quadrant 1. Quadrant 1's in and out. They trust you to do your job, they do their job, it's all good. Quadrant 2 needs more information. They need their anxiety brought down a little bit, and your job is to help manage that anxiety. Show and tell, bringing them out to show them their vehicle can help a lot. Make sure they're accompanied. That's good policy. What other tools do you have? You can use flip charts, you can use posters. There's a lot of electronic tools out there. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. But remember, Quadrant 2 are processors. They may even ask for the old parts. Now, to me, that's not a big deal. I still meet people in the industry that they get all freaked out when somebody offers them or asks for the old parts. No, what are you upset about? You know what they say to me? They don't trust me. It's not a case that they don't trust. They need more information. These Quadrant 2 individuals need the information. They want to see the old part. Or they may have somebody at home or somebody somewhere else that they need to explain or justify or rationalize why they spent that money to have that vehicle repaired. So they may very well ask you for the old parts. They may very well ask you for more information. Keep it in mind, task-oriented, slower transactions, slow things down, give them bullet points, still ask them the most convenient way to contact them. You should always be collecting email information and verifying telephone information with every customer that walks through that door for your own records. Okay? So, Quadrant 1, task-oriented, fast transactions. Quadrant 2, task-oriented, slower transactions. How do you recognize a Quadrant 2 individual? They're likely to ask you a few more questions. They're not going to be quite as jacked up as Quadrant 1 will be. They'll be a little bit calmer when they come through the door. They'll ask a few more questions, although they won't be real talkative. Treat them well, they can be great customers. We'll talk about Quadrant 3 next.